Hello, hello. So I am happy to announce I've finally finished my haunted house, and I'm going to go through it and tell you exactly what I did. I also finished another project, somewhat. It's almost like a birthday gift for my neighbor. Last year I had made her one of my gem trees. And Chance. Okay, last year I had made her one of my gem trees, and you know, they're not exactly cheap to make. And when I had come back went to her house another time to babysit, because I babysit for her sometimes, I was horrified to see, and this is one of my earlier trees that I'm going to be cutting apart for the beads and the wire, because I don't like how it turned out. I messed it up, but her daughter went like this to my tree. And I was pretty horrified, so I decided that this year I was going to make her something that didn't cost me a lot of money. You know, I still thought about what I wanted to do for her, but just not willing to invest in the materials needed to make her something slightly more expensive. So her favorite holiday is Halloween, and her birthday's in October. And I got this idea from Pinterest, and I've kind of made it my own thing. They were just Halloween decorated spools. And this is only one that I made. I'm going to do a tutorial on how on these, and I've turned them into, I turned mine into a photo holder. So it's like that. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this. I'm not sure when. I need to get some different colors of floss, but anyways, this is my version of a spool monster. But I think he turned out pretty cool, and I will be doing a tutorial on that. So that's one thing I did just get finished making. Okay, so on with the haunted house. I'm so relieved that this is done. I have problems concentrating on one thing. You know, it's very, when I first start a project, it's like I work on it non-stop, but for some reason a little while after I have trouble keeping my concentration, so projects generally take a lot longer than they would take the average Joe. So this is my haunted house. Okay, so to start off, I made the grass with reindeer moss, and I bought the bag of reindeer moss at the Dollar Tree. Unlike sphagnum moss and I forgot what the name of it, but just other various species of moss, reindeer moss has stays kind of green, and it kind of stays soft. So the moss was a lot brighter than this, but after I had glued it down, I sprayed it with hairspray, which made it darker. But I still got the look. I'm very happy with how it turned out. This sign, I glued a couple pieces of cardboard together, and then the post right here is just a chopstick that I cut a piece off of, and then I made the little candy corn decorations. The cobblestone path is just polymer clay, and same with the pumpkins. Got some glue I need to pick off there. And I glazed the pumpkins with Sculpey glaze. I'm pretty happy with how those turned out. This was just a miscellaneous rock that I made out of the last bit of this granite colored clay that I had. The rest in peace tombstone I made out of clay, and I had some small alphabet stamps, and I just stamped the RIP in it and then baked it, and then I took a skewer and I put a little bit of black paint on it, and then I painted in the RIP to bring it so that you could see it more. Okay, so I think you guys have all seen me work on the tree. I have videos on it if you didn't see how I did it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Basically, it was just wrapping my scrap wire together from it was the cuttings from my gem trees, and I wrapped that together, and then I covered it with some scrap polymer clay, baked it, and then I painted it black, and I'm absolutely in love with how the tree came out. Yeah, it couldn't have come out better. So then on the tree, I've got 4 little bats, and I painted red eyes. I was gonna do some brown wolf bats, but I didn't want to open. I had so many packages of open clay. I didn't want to open up my dark brown that I had, just because it would just be another open package of clay. So I opted out from the wolf bats, and I just did a few more vampire bats. This picket fence, I don't know what the brand is. I didn't buy it. It came along with a large lot of wood things that I bought off Craigslist. I think the brand is like Doodle Doo or something like that. It has a really quirky brand name. But basically it's just these wooden posts that have been wired together, and I painted that black and then glued it onto the plaque. Alright, this garland is off of, let me see if I can find it. So this right here, this was meant to look like a garland. And I bought some a long time ago, well, it was a few months ago. I had bought some ribbon from the dollar bin at Michael's, and you can see there was 4 lines of wire, but I snipped one off. But anyways, I cut a piece off of this so that it ended up like that, and then I glued my homemade candy corns on there. And then this is supposed to be a doorbell that I made out of polymer clay. Okay, so the roof, I hope you guys can see it, but I cut tongue depressors apart, and this birdhouse had a barn style roof. And I wanted a pointy roof. So I cut tongue depressors, and I started stacking them, and I was gluing them with hot glue. But I realized once I got, let me just turn it around here. Once I got to right here where the birdhouse roof ended, the hot glue wasn't strong enough to handle me continuing to glue shingles up higher and higher. So what I did was I took all the scraps that I had, and I just built them up all along. You can't see them because the shingles are covering them, but I took all the little scrap pieces of tongue depressor and just continued to glue and stack them up to make a pointed shape on the roof, and then I was able to stack the shingles up against it. So I really wasn't wasting any of the tongue depressor. It was all all the little pieces I was going to throw away ended up being used for structural support. So I was quite pleased about that. And then I have a feeling you're not going to be able to see it too well, but there's tongue depressors going across here, and I'm ecstatic with how it turned out. I had painted it black, then glued glitter on it, and then sprayed it with hairspray to keep the glitter in place. This bird was a gold bird. I bought it for 50 cents at my local 5 and dime, and I just painted it black to look like a raven because I was not going to try and sculpt a bird out of clay. I do not have that type of skill, unfortunately. So, these are one of the more expensive birds that I purchased just because they're like the perfect size to go on so many projects. So, yeah, he was a 50-cent bird that I happen to have a few of them left of. So, right here, I'm not sure if you'll see it the way I see it, but I tried to make this look like a boarded up window. It's kind of sloppy, but nothing about this haunted house looks that realistic. So that's the effect I was going for. I don't know if you can see it being as a boarded up window, but I just wanted to decorate this part of the house somehow. And I don't know if you saw, I have a little painted jack-o'-lantern right there. Okay, so, I don't know if you remember, up here, I ripped some felts apart. Let me see if I can just... Yeah, I ripped some felts apart. I tried to try a different thing because I really wanted like the beautiful spider web look to go across the doorway, but no matter what I tried, all the different things I experimented with, I just couldn't get it. So I was gonna buy some fake spider web at the craft store, but I wasn't paying $3 for a bag. So I saw a tutorial of someone making cotton candy charms, and they were just ripping felt apart. So that's what I did to make this, because some spiders, their webs look like just big cotton balls. You know, it's not a beautifully spun web, it's just a big cotton ball covering a surface. So that's kind of what I ended up going with. And then you guys have seen my, let me zoom out again. You guys have seen my spider. I'm probably going to do a tutorial on him, just because I love how he turned out too. Hold on, let me grab him. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to focus for you. But, that's him. And he's falling inside the door because I have the house tilted, but when it's like this, then he dangles freely down here. Okay, so I have to turn on my flashlight so that you guys can see the inside of the house because it's pretty dark. Okay, so to start off, there's a little boo placemat right there. I cut a little piece of orange cardstock, and then I had some scrap brown, and I just scalloped that, glued them together, and then I had some black scrapbook stickers, letter stickers, so I just spelled out boo, because that's about the only thing that would fit on there. So turning the house, I'm trying to be delicate because there's a couple things that are still tacking on here. Okay, so inside the house, you can see the little bowl of candy corn there. That was a wooden bowl that I painted black, and then I made all the little tiny candy corns and glued them in there. The flooring is a piece of scrap fabric that I had. The table, the little end table back there, was a wooden disc that I painted black, and then I took 4 chopsticks and I cut the narrow ends off of them to make the table legs. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was blocking the camera. To make the table legs, painted them black, glued them to the disc. And then I had a piece of scrap lace that was all cut up that I got from the antique store. And I glued that, I made a little tablecloth, glued that over there. And then it looked a little bit too bright. So I took a block of black tulle. I took a piece of black tulle. It was actually some scrap tulle that was used to tie lace together at the antique store. And it has little gold stickles on it. And I put that over top of the white lace tablecloth just to darken it a little bit so it wasn't so bright and cheery. The vase is just an orange and black glass bead, which was actually quite expensive when I bought it like 6 years ago. And then there's a couple ribbon roses in there. Okay, I'm going to try and get it so that you can see it. So there's some stickers back there, and I have these massive spiders outside my window. I swear, I'm like 10 feet away from the window, 10, 12 feet, and I can see their fangs. They're so big. And there's a whole family of them that have spun their webs across my craft room window. So they kind of inspired all the spiders in this project. But yeah, those are some spider stickers. There's a little web sticker. That little gift bag back there, that was a scrapbooking sticker that I bought like 6, 7 years ago. And I don't have kids, so I never got to use my Halloween scrapbook stickers until now. So that's just a little pre-made gift bag sticker. I try it again. Just a little bit more on this side. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it. Alright, so there's a little ghost sticker on that side. And then on the bottom there in the corner is a witch's hat that I made out of polymer clay. So, my throat is dry. So that's basically it. I'm pretty proud of it. This is going to be going on my dining room table. And, you know, it took me a very long time. It shouldn't have. It wouldn't for normal people, but, and I just get so distracted very easily, so I'm glad it's done. I may add a couple more things, but I'm just going to call it a finished project for now so that I can move on to some other things. So I hope you like it. If you want to know how to make anything, just let me know and I will do a tutorial on it. A lot of it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just love my tree. And then when I painted the house, I didn't have the purple that I was really looking for, so I don't remember what colors I mixed together. It was probably white and like a glossy plum purple. Painted that on there, and then I sponged some green and then sponged some brown on there to make it look dirty and look like it was covered with algae. So I don't know, let me know what you think. It was a labor of love. Kind of disappointed I didn't get to enter it into the contest I had started this for, but I just didn't qualify. So I didn't really spend too much on it. I added it up of the things I bought like within the last month, not for this project, but it came to like $5.50 for this. A lot of the clay and the birdhouse and the plaque, or actually the plaque I paid 25 cents for. But the birdhouse and a lot of the clay and the fabric and just most of the stuff was gifted to me. So I really didn't spend a whole lot on this. I didn't buy anything for the project, but I had bought some supplies to make other things. So, anyways, let me know what you think. And thanks for watching.